also from the president that private sector companies should also do away with these diversity programs as well. Well, let's talk a little bit more about this now. We're joined by political commentator and DEI educator Calvin Dark. Calvin, thank you for being with us here. What sort of message does this send out, this really across the board removal of these plans, something that President Trump and his allies are calling common sense programs?
Well, yes, thank you for having me. It sends a couple of messages. First, it shows that Donald Trump either doesn't believe or doesn't care that discrimination, inequality, racism is still a problem that he, as the president, needs to address. It also sends a message to the part of his base that is openly racist and against a forward-looking society. And also, he shows that he has no interest in America's future. If Donald Trump had said, I want to get rid of these programs because they're not working, here's racism, inequality, then I would be listening. But he didn't do that because he has no interest. And that's the message that he's sending to Americans today.
I want to ask you this. I mean, we have a very active debate in Europe about DEI. Even those who approve of this programme would say it's very hard to measure cultural change. How difficult is it actually to deliver on the ambition of DEI with high impact?
Well, one of the biggest obstacles is when you have people in places of power, like Donald Trump and some leaders in Congress, who don't believe that positions that are occupied by women and minorities, that the people in them are qualified, but they're only there because of their race or their gender. It comes from the top. So that's the biggest obstacle. The second obstacle is Donald Trump always frames DEI efforts in what we're giving to people who may not deserve it. What he doesn't realize is that DEI helps the government. Because you know what? If he's trying to find solutions for problems, if everybody around him is a rich white real estate developer from New York, they might not have the lived experiences that can give the best solution for America. It baffles me that Donald Trump and a lot of Republicans always talk about, every state needs to come up with their own solution because we're a diverse country. That works, except for on race and on gender issues. So Americans are losing out, the American government is losing out, and the biggest problem is the people at the top either don't understand or don't want to understand the importance of diversity in all of our institutions and private sector.
And Calvin, just bringing it back to what the president is actually doing here, literally, I mean, in telling people that they have no job, they're being put on administrative leave for the next week or two, and the companies have been ordered to try and wind down their positions in that time. Can he do that? Will that be obeyed? And even more so, this reach into the private sector to get them to do the same?
Well, I'm sure that there's going to be legal challenges to what he's doing with these government employees. We've also seen this campaign against government employees as if they're all sitting at home, not doing any work. There's a return to work in the office. That's a separate issue for Donald Trump. But one thing I want to say is during his first term, when Donald Trump did dissimilar things. Let me tell you one of the effects. I am from North Carolina, as you can probably hear from my accent, but I speak several languages because I went and studied in Morocco through the Fulbright program with the State Department. And so as a volunteer, I was helping the State Department encourage more African Americans to study abroad and enter the Foreign Service because traditionally African Americans don't. Do you know that program was ended because it conflicted with Donald Trump's DEI initiatives? How is trying to encourage more diverse Americans to take advantage of opportunities to serve our country in any way positive for the future of America?
Calvin, thank you very much for coming on the programme. It's really good to talk to you.